How you going, team? My name's Joel from Riverland Bar. I'm the venue manager here. As part of the virtual square at Fed Square, we're doing a few stay-at-home essentials for you. We've got the Boozy Milo today. You can find those on fedsquare.com. I'm going to run you through how we make them here at Riverland today, but I'll give you a couple of tips on how you can make them at home as well, because that's where you should be. First of all, you're going to need a glass. We use our standard kind of pot glass, so 300 mils or less is really what you want. Pretty important, you'll find out why later. The first thing we're going to do while we're getting ready with some of those ingredients is we're going to heat the glass, which is really important because if you put hot drink into a cold glass, it's going to make it really cold. Cool, so while our glass is warming, we're going to put 150 mils of milk into a jug and steam it. Now, as I said, I don't expect that all of you are going to have a coffee machine at home. If you do, awesome. Makes it nice and quick for you. Or even old school, just a pot on the stove with a whisk and give it a good whip. Now, into that jug, we're going to add 2 to 3 teaspoons of maple syrup. I go with 2 because the Milo is pretty sweet enough already. This will give you that nice kind of maple flavour to it. We're also going to add 3 teaspoons of Milo. Now, the important thing about this is Milo is one of those things that's really tempting to put more in than you need. With this, because of the maple syrup, it'll actually make it taste quite sweet if you do add that in. I'm not opposed to you having a mouthful of it. It's the Australian way. Cool, and I've just chucked 2 in there because I don't like it too sweet. You can put the 3 in if you want it a little bit sweeter. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to steam it all together. That helps it mix it through. If you're doing it at home, probably bring your milk a little bit warmer before you start adding those ingredients, or they can tend to stick to the bottom. Cool, so with that ready, we're pretty much ready to go. So emptying that hot water out of the glass and moving pretty quickly because you want it to still be pretty hot when you're going in there. We use Havana 7-year-old at Riverland just because it's that kind of nice, classy touch in there. You can use any kind of dark rum really. You can use white rum, you can use any kind of spirit that you want. Just for this case, this is what we use. All right, so once that spirit's in there, you're adding your Milo in over the top. You don't want to fill it all the way up because we're going to be adding some whipped cream in there and we don't want it to overflow. You can do this without whipped cream as well if it's going to be a little bit too much for you. Cool, we're nearly there. We give it a quick dusting with Milo as well, just over the top. And then our last little point here is we blowtorch these marshmallows just to give them that nice burnt flavour. You don't need a blowtorch for this. If you're doing this at home, you can do it. If you've got a gas stove, you can just do it over those quite quickly. Otherwise, you could just do it with a lighter or any kind of flame, really. You don't want to burn them too much. Don't want to go over the top. Cool. And then just like any Milo should have, just a little spoon in there in the top, just so you guys can eat the top before you start away. That's Boozy Milo, that's how we make it. Pretty good winter hit here in the winter when it's really cold. People tend to enjoy it and they're pretty good to enjoy at home in front of the fire or in front of the TV. So that's the Boozy Milo, guys. Thanks for joining us at Riverland Bar. To see what else is on offer, go to fedsquare.com for the Fed Square Virtual Square.